everyone, welcome to another video. This time it's Gym Failure Friends by Kawaii Debu.
This is looking like a pretty epic, well not comic, but series of sort of story images, basically a comic, so I am looking forward to this. What is Gym Failure Friends? Gym Failure Friends is the follow-up to Gym Failure Wife, Origins. Tells the story of the blossoming friendship and burgeoning waistlines of Gym Failure Wife and her new friend, another housewife recently moved into the neighborhood. What seems like a kind gesture spirals out of control, and friend soon gains the title of Gym Failure herself over the course of this 13-image sequence. As long as weight is gained, not lost, could be in for a good time. Well, let's start this then. I'm so glad another young couple moved in. Oh, we can be gym buddies. I've got a premium membership. I can get you in for free.
Oh, sure. She's huge.
She is indeed quite large. Look at the size of their comparative plates. Peach bottom smoothies. Again, we have large smoothie, small smoothie. See? And technically, they never say there's a limit to the complimentary smoothies. Friend does her best to keep up, the heavy gurgle of her third smoothie hindering her. She didn't mean to have that many, definitely not, but wife just kept insisting she try this flavour or that. Rookie mistakes. Rookie mistakes at losing weight or gaining weight?
Are we going to the gym today?
Classic rookie mistake. You've got to give your body time to recover. As it turned out, friend and wife were similarly restless in their upscale suburban neighbourhood. Though their social interactions may have been initially spurred by convenience or opportunism on friend's part, the boredom that accompanied being a, she shuddered to think it, housewife soon inspired a sense of relief when wife would come calling. It was, of course, an opportunity to head out into the world, and wife was actually good company, her fitness suggestions notwithstanding. High weight, no reps. See, you want to go low weight, high rep to avoid bulking. Doesn't seem to have worked, but okay.
Right.
Oh no! It does not appear to be working. It's still got a long way to go, obviously. Happy as friend was to be out of the house, she wasn't oblivious to the impact her friendship, yes, genuine friendship, with wife. The days continued their inevitable transformation to weeks, and friend continued her regard to the changing landscape of her own body. There was nothing confusing about the consequences of her actions, yet there was so very much else in her life that had become beyond her understanding. At first it was easy to regard wife as something of a bimbo, a ditz, a simple overfed housewife. Yet as time went on, friend began to see the unusual magnetism she possessed, the odd bit of correct advice mixed in with woefully misinformed nutrition. Beyond that, there was the greater revelation of wife's unshakable confidence, seeming to ooze from every generous ripple of truly gigantic body. The most baffling element to friend was the lack of protest, or even comment from her own husband. Certainly the damage she had done couldn't still be unnoticed. Her tight pants and skirts, the newfound quivering of her thighs, every morning as she got dressed, told her that this couldn't be waved away as a figment of her imagination. Still, no chiding or admonishment. Were they sharing some provocative secret neither would address? How much further would she need to push it before she would be acknowledged? Did she want to find out? Oh my!
Oh ho.
Ara, this is interesting developments indeed. A bit of a stretch. She may be very large, but she's definitely incredibly flexible. That's impressive. At first, the junk food, the indulgences, the stuffing, if friend was honest. All of it was mostly isolated to hanging out with wife. Even that had made a big difference over time, but more recently, in friend's more idle moments, she found herself falling into the habits that were once special occasions, treats, excusable actions in comparison to her eclipsing comrade. The results were predictable in terms of growth. More supple flesh began to fill out those stretchy gym garments, something that had become less and less damaging to friend's mind, knowing by comparison to wife she was still tiny. The nonchalance regarding her changing physique hit its first stumbling block when, upon proceeding up a small set of stairs, she surprised herself to notice she had become winded. A mere 6 steps? Couldn't be. Must have been something else, particularly as she noted that wife, at her remarkable size, seemed unfazed by the same endeavour. That's because wife is a strong fat. So the revelation came upon her gradually, and then suddenly. Wife was big, yes, but she had been big for some time, it seemed. She had grown adept, accustomed to her size over time. For friend, this was brand new, this larger body, this increased effort. Before she was naturally thin, or so she thought. She ate sparingly, but exercise was never a real factor. As friend set a softer hip down on her yoga mat and reached towards her toes, she may well have been reaching for Saturn's rings. She had about the same chance of achieving that. In that moment, friend realized that wife was in some way in better shape than she was. It was a shocking revelation.
Somehow I'm in worse shape than my huge fat gym buddy.
Her greater shock, though, came a moment later as she realized a wide grin had blossomed across her face. Oh no, she's becoming corrupted! As these stories usually go. No denying it. You're just building muscle, cultivating mass. Friend had tossed on a loose by design maxi dress, opting today to carry her workout clothes in her gym bag so she could change back into the dress right from the gym. Wife had talked up a new Korean barbecue place across town, so heading direct from the gym seemed the most practical thing to do. Once in the familiar lady's locker room, friend discarded her maxi dress swiftly and opened her gym bag, retrieving a stretchy set of familiar garments. Disrobed to just her underwear, she spent a second regarding the gym clothes. Sure, they were familiar, but she hadn't used these in more than a few weeks, months maybe. She gave them a cautionary sniff, noting they smelled clean though a bit stale from their disuse. Shrugging, she tossed the top to the side and lifted a quivering thigh to ease her left foot through the corresponding leg. It did not take long to meet resistance. The leg began to protest at the fullest swell of her ankle. You know you're in trouble when you can't get your gym pants past your ankle. If the gym pants could think, they would be forced to assume they were already dealing with their owner's former thigh. The gym pants ceased all cooperation as they met the thickened knees of their owner, and friend felt her face turn hot.
They don't fit.
The thought had become a mumbled sentence without her realizing. What's that? Wife asked brightly. Friend swallowed hard. All at once she felt very foolish, setting her left foot down. To regain her balance, her old gym pants transformed into something more like an ankle scarf.
I guess maybe I have to skip the workout today.
She almost felt woozy. Somehow this abundance of flesh felt very new and public. Despite its gradual accumulation, wife looked concerned. Are you okay? Have you been pushing too hard?
I'm too fat for the gym clothes I brought. They don't fit me. I'm fat.
Friend answered, the words more for herself, an acknowledgement of the reality of the situation. Yes, it was a reckoning for her. The truth of the situation spoken aloud. The strange game of say I'm fat chicken her life had become had ended as she grabbed a handful of love handle. She had lost. Wife, either out of kindness or in naivety, was still ready to deny it. I don't know whether that's a good friend or a bad friend, but at least she's nice. Last restraint. But why would carbo loading only work for marathons? Too many tacos to go, chunky donuts? Oh my goodness, and skipping rope. That sounds like it would work very well with some jiggly bellies.
Yeah.
The week or so following friend's self-admission of fatness had her grappling with the implication across the rest of her daily routines. What had been a morning habit of 2 creams and 2 sugars in her coffee, some waffles and bacon, felt very deliberate the day after her admission. She ended up opting for black coffee and a single piece of toast, ending up calling it quits on the coffee after 2 bitter sips. The rest of the day went similarly poorly. Her happy snack schedule overturned into a guilty observation of the dome of her belly. She ignored her texts and Facebook messages from wife, looking up some beginner yoga videos on YouTube which lasted for her only about as long as those sips of coffee. She kept this new, miserable routine for about 3 days until her husband noted how down she seemed to be. Over a meager dinner, they went over a week, uneventful as it had been, and he asked friend why she hadn't gone out with wife in their usual way. Friend, of course, knew why.
Because if I keep going out with her, I'll be a runaway blimp.
She thought to herself. On the other hand, it was true. She was more miserable this week than she had been in ages. Wife always had new exciting places to try, fun things to see, delicious things to eat, and life felt big and colourful and exciting in ways that were previously unfamiliar. The next day, Friend considered the conversation from the evening before, how her husband seemed to be encouraging her spending time with wife again. Was he saying he liked the changes Friend had gone through? He certainly hadn't seemed to lose any enthusiasm for their usual marital duties. What's that supposed to mean? Well, I guess as long as it's within a marriage, that's okay with our wholesome Christian Minecraft server. As the morning turned to afternoon, Friend considered if she really minded the changes herself. Her thoughts drifted back to the hazy steam room she shared with wife. How staggering her immense beauty had been. It had taken time for Friend to really notice the changes her own body had gone through, but in really considering it, the size and heft, the feeling of flesh pressing flesh where before there was only empty space, she had to admit it didn't disagree with her. It only took a tiny apology text about not responding sooner for Friend to be back at the gym with her bestie. It then took about another 15 minutes of half-hearted jump roping to move on to the part of the day and their visits that Friend really looked forward to. Which was good, Friend decided. She didn't need to pretend this was about something she didn't care about anymore. She tossed the jump rope aside before taking a taco in one hand and a donut in her other. Wife read on a foodie blog that they paired perfectly together, and Friend was eager to find out for herself. Epic! Not sure how tacos and donuts, I'm not sure, but oh well.
Hopefully not at the same time.
All in.
If you're free, let's hit the gym for a few. But I want to try that gelato place after.
I'll be right over. Having surmounted her misgivings about her new lifestyle and changing body, Friend began to relish every aspect of her new freedom, so to speak. The occasional treat that was her hangouts with wife were no longer exceptions. Even her moments not reveling in the casual hedonism of wife's presence had become a celebration of all her various appetites. There was a true excitement to the extravagance, buying rich treats, replacing successive wardrobes, accompanied by an increasingly provocative sense of fashion as she embraced her swelling figure. In the rare moments she regarded her old life and her newfound existence of indulgence, she was amused mostly. It felt so quaint, that old, meek, lonely way of living, according to some abstract ideal. Somewhere along the way, along the boxes of donuts, orders of fries, slice of pizza, Friend somehow found a more honest way of being herself. Bad influence. Didn't we already have a cheat day this week?
Who cares?
Wife found herself a bit surprised. She and Friend were set to have their usual Monday gym session early this afternoon, but in what was quickly becoming a pattern, Friend had reached out beforehand to arrange a mall hangout instead. No stranger to the appeal of retail therapy, wife was usually an easy target and swayed from their usual gym escapades with little more than a gentle nudge. All the same, wife really did enjoy going to the gym, and beneath her more than generous layer of fluff there existed some semblance of an athlete. Wow, this woman really is a strong, athletic fat. Further still, wife knew her grandiose size well because it had remained extremely constant since the day she had finally convinced her hubby to get her that long sought-after gym membership. Which leads us back to wife finding herself a bit surprised. Wife knew better than most that weight was just a number, but with some time to spare before Friend arrived, wife stepped gingerly on her rarely used scale to inspect those familiar 3 digits. There was the usual tap, the calibration, and then a step. Wife managed a graceful bend to check the scale's reading, but her usual numbers, those old friends, didn't match. No, the steadfast first digit remained, but 2 new strangers joined it. 7 pounds? Considering her size, it was a drop in the proverbial bucket, but the idea of the numbers increasing had been alien to wife for some time. Her apprehension was broken by a ring of her doorbell. Wife greeted Friend brightly, each wearing a flowing sundress that was practically painted on. Oh my! Sometime later, as they strolled through the most extensive food court, wife made the mental note that she needed to get Friend back into their old gym routine sooner rather than later. Oh my goodness, okay then. This is now just mutual, enabling. Learned from the best.
So, I'm thinking the best follow-up for yoga is yogurt.
Oh my gosh, yes! With strawberries and sprinkles and Butterfinger crumbles and so it went. Friend snowballing into Butterball continued apace, though wife still wrangled her into the gym as much as she could. Friend, however, was increasingly skilled at diversions, or if for whatever reason she couldn't manage to cut a gym visit short, it transitioned quickly into celebrating that we were so well behaved today. These celebrations typically involved a quantity of sweets that could easily provide a large family enough dessert to make their stomachs ache. If wife's early poor advice and frequent indulgences regarding snacks were training, then friend had truly surpassed her former teacher. Even with the advantage of her height and a considerable head start, wife was quickly coming to be surpassed by friend in both appetite and weight. This fact hadn't gone unnoticed by friend. Rather, it had helped to drive her frenzied appetite even further in the hopes of finally being the bigger of the two. Oh, it's a competition now. Oh my! Goodness, she is quite a bit taller than her. The art here is very, very lovely, I must add. Gym failure, thanks. What is this cake for again?
Oh, no idea, but I need more.
A small thank you piece for everyone who's helped support the pack so far. I appreciate it. Wow. I guess she is now, just about larger at this point.
Looks like there's more rolls there.
The end and around again. Oh no, they're dragging someone else in.
No, we're so happy you moved to this neighborhood, Poker.
Me too. And thanks for the gym membership. Of course. We think you'll fit in no time. She has a little bit of an apprehensive look on her face, I might think. At two dear bosom buddies throw a welcoming party for a new gal in the neighborhood. More of a bonus than anything, featuring idle-minded gal Poker. I'd say friend is neck and neck, and double chin, with wife as far as hips go at this point. There's another bonus sketch after this old post, plus the follow-up here. Will friend truly surpass wife? I guess only time will tell. And another bonus, a bot too far.
What the frick is happening here? Not on my watch! Not again!
Hey, remember Fitbots? I guess if this bot's purpose is to stop people from getting fat, then yeah, I can see why there'd be some frustration.
At least they're not fat.
That's true. Well, that is the end of Gym Failure Friends. Very, very lovely series by Kawaii Debu. 10 out of 10, top-notch art. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. Definitely go give Kawaii Debu a watch. I think you can find him on DeviantArt and Twitter, maybe some other places. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and see you next time. Bye!